shach, it's a praise. It's just that we want to be blessed. Yeah. Affirming the truth of what we're saying. So also, Perish, like I mentioned before, when Tzina Gam came to Gemara, we also find in the Gemara Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Shmuel was the Kohen Gadol. Gemara in Brachos asked Rabbi Shmuel to bless him. He was in Kodesh Kedoshim, in the Holy of Holies, that would be on Yom Kippur, and he asked the Kohen Gadol to bless him, God. So the Kohen Gadol blessed God. That it may be your will that when you come to go and judge your children, you should let your standards of mercy overpower your standards of strict justice. God says, He says, after Maaseh Akedah, we say that bracha. Oh no, when a little child starts saying Amen, also from that moment, he has a portion of the world to come. Yeah. Not necessarily, he just says if he says it. Answer Amen. Oh, his punishment is very great. Anybody who hears a blessing from a Jew, even from a youngster, so not even bar mitzvah. Once that person that's making the bracha says it in the way you usually say a bracha, even if you didn't hear the entire bracha, only you heard that the name, mention of the name of God, the sofa bracha, at the end of the bracha, Amen. He's obligated to answer Amen. So every time you're obligated to say Amen to every one of his brachas. And you're not permitted to ignore that and not say Amen.
What if you're in the middle of Shemona Esrei?
We're talking about when you're not.
Shemona Esrei, Rabbi. And some of us are like slow readers, and the reader starts to repeat the Shemona. You just stop, especially for
the Kedusha, you don't say anything. You stop where you're at, and you just listen to what is said in the Kedusha. After it's too much of it, and you just have to hear them, and to top it off, sometimes, unfortunately, they can't read even. No. What you have to wait, yes, ordinarily you do. If it be an extraordinary situation, then we're not talking about it. You're not in a vacuum.
What if you took time constraints? You have to stand down.
Obviously, you can do the best you can under the circumstances. We're not talking about a situation that is monolithic. There's not always a correct answer for everything. We will learn when we have a shir again. We had to come to the last Mishnah in the first period, and I just said this. But you have the concept of now. I'd like you to go 2 pages, and I want to learn now Dini Berachas HaTorah on page 30. Page 30. You have page 30. Klal test. You have it. Klal test.
That's because I think Jerry's coming.
You have Klal test. Page 30.
Does one have the choice? Can you answer for the Kedusha and then start the Shemona Esrei all over again?
You can do that too.
You're in the middle, okay? And then they're starting Kedusha.
There might be a lot of times if you make a mistake, right? You usually should go back to the place you stopped. That's the ordinary case. But if you're postulating a situation where they take an awful long time, if you're in the middle of Shemona Esrei, it's really not proper. The proper procedure is to be quiet and then continue where you stop. And that's it. Doesn't say it for you. Of course, what you should do is, if you can, either wait before you start Shemona Esrei.
You make a big mistake when they're done.
If they weren't just a certain guy, they wouldn't be here.
You guys would
Yes,
very
sir.
much that's the answer. No, I don't. You may know, gentlemen, I may have told you this before. It is a responsibility for a Jew, before you start learning Torah in the morning, to say Birchas HaTorah. That's before the brachos. You say, as soon as you get up and you wash your hands and everything, and you've gone to the washroom and you wash your hands, these blessings should be said first, because you're not permitted to learn Torah before saying Birchas HaTorah. Now we're going to read this again. We've learned this once before, many years ago, but we'll read it again. See if it's written, Kishem Hashem Ekra, because the name of the Lord I will cry out, Homo Godel, give greatness. It's in the Borim, there's a pasuk there, the Zino, with Abero. Kishem Hashem Ekra, I'm calling out, Kibbutz Chazal, and our sages of blessed memory have as a tradition. Mitzvah Saseh, it is a positive command for now to say the blessings of the Torah before you read it. Tiknu beis brachos, and they made takona that you have two blessings. Echad asher klishanu, the blessing asher klishanu, birchas ha-mitzvah. It's a blessing of the mitzvah that you're about to do, and one is a blessing of thanks. Shahoya asher b'charbon selected us and given us the Torah. Yeshomim, the others that say the hariv no husim bracha asher kichanu. The word hariv is the end of the first bracha that we said asher kichanu. Imkain, if that's the case, yesh lomer, you should say v'hariv with the vav. As you will read in our Sidurim, it's with the vav. That's the psak halacha of the, and we paskin like that. The Sephardim paskin like Rabbi, who holds that there are three brachas in the Torah, but we paskin there are two. One longer one, and the vav that connects the first two. Yishomim, others say shehu bracha b'fnei atzmo, it's a blessing by itself. So there's two shitas, the Rambam and Rabbi. In Cain, that's over. Harav, you can say Harav without the vav. It's a blessing by itself. Gam yesh la'anos, lefizeh, amen. Acher sha'or, umin ha'keinu. But our custom is, shelo la'anos, we don't answer amen, acher, to engage in learning Torah. Gam omrim, and we also say, v'hariv b'vav, we say with a vav, like Rabbi Osher says. Achva kavonos, Shahari, big time. The Ari, who passed it like the Rambam, would say Amen between the two of us. There are different sheets in the matter. We passed it not like the Ari, and our base in Cloud Test, on page 30 in the Chaye Adom. There was a great Rav who was a dying in Danzig, Poland, and he died in 1820. The Chaye Adom is the predecessor to Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. It is a summary of many of the laws in the regular Shulchan Aruch.
Did he write this?
Yes.
When?
I would say a few years before he died, about in the 18 the teen incident, about something that happened that was afterwards. That it must be in the last 5 years of his life, because he wrote others for him too. Dying, he was a rabbinical judge, and he also wrote Chaye Adom. That's a commentary on other parts of it. A person has to be very careful, he's here, to be careful in this blessing. Torah, here it is. But Torah is such a great mitzvah, Talmud Torah, but you're not permitted to learn Torah until you bless. You make that blessing first, these blessings first. A simcha gedolah, and you must make these blessings with great joy. The motzino that we find of blessed memory, who always tells Chazal, we're talking about